In the first round of tests in 2022 under its Safer Cars for India program, Global NCAP has results for 2 Honda models sold in the country. The Honda City compact sedan and Honda Jazz premium hatch have been tested for frontal offset impact. And yes, you are right, it is the older City, not the new 5th generation.
Now, post-impact, you can see on that sill, even up here on this particular structural beam, that there aren't too many intrusions. There isn't a complete deforming of that structure. That's the part that, of course, holds the City in good stead. Now, you may wonder why it is the older City, but remember, this car is still on sale in India, and Global NCAP will always look at the most basic version of a car that is available in the market for the test protocol.
Despite being the old gen, the result is good. 4 stars for adult occupant protection. The car's structure and footwell were still rated as unstable though. The lack of a 3-point seat belt in the middle rear seat also cost it some points. The dummy impact chart shows minimal injuries to frontal occupants though. Standard ISOFIX child seat mounts did see a good performance, translating to a high 4-star score for child occupant protection.
But something interesting that Honda is using is that they add to the structure that goes over the wheel arch, they add another element, and the wheel arch goes a little bit lower, and they have another element crossing it until the longitudinal. You can see this also in this side of the car, which is a bit uncrushed. So you have the structure that goes over the wheel arch, and it goes to a lower point, and then you have a connector, another big part of the structure, which connects to the longitudinal. What is this doing? You have a much wider structure available to absorb energy. You distribute the energy, you actually divert the energy outside of the compartment, to the outside of the car. You can dissipate more energy in a more efficient way in terms of the dimension, and at the same time, you can do something which we understand it's also good. You are somehow being less aggressive to whatever you're crushing with this structure, which is very important. We're not yet assessing that part of the car in Global NCAP, but it's going to likely come in the future. Some NCAPs, like Euro NCAP, is already assessing that.
Have you found something similar on other models from Honda globally as well?
I would say that all the cars we tested from Honda so far, all of them have the same philosophy or the same design in the structure, all of them. Starting with Mobilio from India, we tested already many years ago, so we already have seen this portion of the structure.
The Jazz in India is also of an older vintage now and shares its platforms and parts with that City. It actually scored very well with a very high 4-star rating. Protection to front occupants also shows minimal injury.
It's really long in the tooth now in India. The Jazz has been on sale for a while. This current generation continues to sell even as you have a new Jazz since last year in so many other markets. But here's the kicker. Despite the fact that this car was developed like a decade ago, it's still doing better in terms of structural safety and overall score than something much more modern and new.
For child occupant safety, the car lost points for not offering ISOFIX, which is strange given it shares so much with the City. But the structural integrity and stable shell helped it get close to 4 stars here too. The lack of a 3-point rear middle seat belt hurt the score overall on the Jazz as well.
In this car, we were expecting to find ISOFIX anchorages, and they are not present, so the manufacturer needed to recommend child seats which are not using the ISOFIX connectors. In a good decision, they decided to put the Q3, which is the 3-year-old, rearward facing. That was okay, but using a seat belt actually caused that performance of that seat in particular wasn't the best. In an ISOFIX connectors, that would have been much better.
All right. Are you surprised that it's different to the City, considering they're the same platform?
Not that much. It's the same platform, but there are some other differences in terms of dimensions, in terms of weight, in terms of weight distribution. So we're not that much surprised, but in general, structurally speaking, they were very good, both of them.
The latest global NCAP crash test results for both models, the 4th Gen Honda City and the 3rd Gen Honda Jazz that we started selling in India in 2014 and 15 respectively, emphasize Honda's long-standing commitment to safety for everyone, which is not limited to the needs of car drivers but extends to passengers, pedestrians and occupants of all vehicles. We continue to refine our innovative safety technologies and equip every new generation of vehicles with the most advanced and effective safety technologies to ensure everyone's safety on road.
Honda's overall approach to safety is very creditable. The safety is baked into the platform development, which makes us very confident and hopeful of the trickle-down effect to all Honda models in India and in any market. The fact that the last generation cycle cars are scoring so well speaks volumes when rivals are not necessarily at the same levels with even newer generations of their cars.